Welcome to the Insurance Agents and Brokers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the audio version of Coverage Corner. Coverage Corner is a monthly column in IA&B's primary agent magazine. The August 2026 column is entitled Rental Cars Revisited. Again, by Bill Wilson. In 2024, my column entitled Rental Cars Revisited, which can be read at issue.com/primary_agent/docs/August 2024, presented 10 reasons to buy the rental car loss damage waiver, or LDW, rather than rely, as some consumer websites suggest, only on your own car insurance to respond to an accident that results in damage to the rental car. This is what the late, great Don Malecki, CPCU, referred to as a belt and suspenders approach to risk management. There are some things most auto policies cover that LDWs don't, such as impaired driving, operating a vehicle on unpaved roads, undeclared but permissive drivers, etc. There are some things most LDWs cover that auto policies don't, such as diminished value, unlimited loss of use, excluded vehicles, etc. However, is it possible that an accident in a rental car can result in claims not covered by either LDWs or auto insurance? Yes, it's possible. If that happens, then someone contemplating renting a car probably must employ either the avoidance or assumption risk management approaches. The assumption of risk approach requires consideration of what I call the Imahane doctrine, as discussed below. To illustrate this point, let me tell you about the time my wife and I went to Maui. Everyone told us, "You must eat at Mama's Fish House, an exclusive open-air restaurant right on the beach, where 2 house salads and iced teas cost us $70. Mama's Fish House has only valet parking. There are many other restaurants and some hotels that also have no self-parking. Here's the risk management issue. If you buy an LDW, it typically is voided if you, in any way, violate the rental agreement. One way that can happen is if the rental car is being operated by an unauthorized driver. Most LDWs consider the named renter to be an authorized driver. Some also consider a spouse or perhaps a co-worker or other traveling companion to be an authorized driver, though there may be an extra charge to be designated as such, unless the rental agreement includes valets and parking attendants as authorized drivers. Letting a valet operate the rental car could void the LDW and result in the renter being financially responsible for any damage to the rental car caused by the valet. So, if that happens, under a belt and suspenders approach, we look to the driver's auto policy for coverage. As we all know, auto insurance, despite incessant advertising to the contrary, is not a commodity where coverage is the same from one policy and insurer to another. Some auto policies don't extend physical damage coverage to non-owned autos or certain types of non-owned autos, such as pickups or vehicles over a certain weight, or to vehicles being used for business purposes. Some auto policies have even more onerous exclusions. But let's assume the policy in question is a plain vanilla ISO personal auto policy, or PAP. This is what the ISO PAP says with regard to physical damage coverage on a non-owned auto. Any private passenger auto, pickup, van, or trailer, not owned by or furnished or available for the regular use of you or any family member, while in the custody of or being operated by you or any family member. When you relinquish possession of a rental car to a valet, it's certainly no longer being operated by you or a family member. But is it still in the custody of you or a family member? According to Webster, custody means immediate charge and control, exercised by a person or an authority. When the valet takes control of the rental car, is it still in the immediate control of the authorized driver? Arguably, it's not. Under the ISO PAP, if you valet park your own declared auto, this condition doesn't apply. It only applies to non-owned autos. So, if you can't reliably transfer this risk of loss to your insurer via an auto policy or the rental car agency via an LDW, what can you do to manage risk of loss? Probably the best risk management approach is avoidance. Don't valet park a rental car. If you must valet park a rental car, then your default risk management approach could be assumption of risk. But what if you choose to assume the risk by valet parking the rental car anyway? This is when the IMH doctrine may come into play. Let's go back to my Mama's Fish House example. The acronym IMH translates to, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. When I explained our risk management dilemma to my wife, including the avoidance principle. Her response in no uncertain terms was, "We are going to Mama's fish house." Our decision dilemma was immediately resolved. We were using the assumption of risk technique. Our best bet was to hope that nothing happened. But if it did, the rental car company wouldn't ask a lot of questions and or the insurance adjuster would not be familiar with this interpretation of that policy provision. A better approach was to understand the exposure in advance. And if we were staying at a hotel or going to a restaurant that only had valet parking available, we should Uber there. In this instance, nothing happened. So, this invoked the HWHL doctrine, which is, of course, happy wife, happy life. I love happy endings, no matter how perilous the journey to get there. Written by Bill Wilson, CPCU, AR, M. AM. AM is the founder and CEO of InsuranceCommentary.com and the author of 6 books, including When Words Collide, Resolving Insurance Coverage and Claims Disputes, which Book Authority ranked as the #1 insurance book of all time. He can be reached at insurancecommentary@outlook.com. Thank you for listening.
Insurance Agents and Brokers is the premier resource and champion for independent insurance agencies in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For more information, visit iab4me.com.